Okay, what's up, y'all? So Ryan Schul, Straight Data Science. The project today that I worked on yesterday, I want to share with you is NLP insight generation using AI. So I think everybody has heard the term AI at this point. I don't need to explain that. NLP is natural language processing. We're going to use natural language to interact with a body of text and extract useful information from the text, right? So there's a few ways to do this. Anything that is unusual, or if we're looking for error detection or red flags, we can use a couple different tools for that. ChatGPT, number 4, regex language, or NER, and this will help us highlight suspicious phrasing or mismatching of data. I just did a video recently specifically about that, so you can check that out, right? Anomaly detection, anything that's weird, different, outliers, any type of anomaly, we can use embeddings in isolation for us to help us detect this. An embedding is basically a numerical representation of words. So the embedding for cat and for dog is going to be somewhat different. Somewhat similar. The embedding for cat and finance will be very different, okay, because of the totally different terms, different language, different types of language, different parts of language. But cat and dog, even though they're different species and it's different animal, like fundamentally, that thing for the computer is somewhat similar, right? So those embeddings will be kind of similar. And topic modeling, if we want to use or topic modeling, understand the syntax of a body of text, which is unstructured data, we can use BERTopic or LDA, linear discriminant analysis, and we can extract themes like risk to our business, research and development, or just specific topics. So let me go ahead and download some information so we can work on it. I created a folder here and I put that into this subdirectory right here. So Control Enter to run the cell. And you can see that we're downloading SEC data. These are 10K financial statements for specifically for Apple. Okay, so we have 5 years worth of data. If you look at the code, I said give me everything after 2020, and again, this is for Apple, and these are 10Ks. These are annual filings that any public company has to submit to the SEC. This is the Securities and Exchange Commission to be transparent and to fundamentally explain what's going on with the business from a financial perspective. Okay, so the next thing I did down here, and I'll share all the code with you. I can't run this specific script right now because this is asking for a ChatGPT API key, and I don't have that key. I don't have the key right now. I can give you a location. I can easily give you a location to get the key for yourself. I can't give you mine because it's obviously personal and confidential. You would never give any person your key. Let me see if I can look it up. API key over here. I think this is it. I had this on my other screen. Let me go over here and see. Yeah, this is it. So if I go over here and put that here, this will be your API key. It's obscured away, right? So nobody can see it. GPT. Okay, put that in there for your benefit. So you can go ahead and create your own key. It's totally free to create the key. Doesn't cost a cent. But when you start using these things, it does cost a small amount to use the system, right, or the AI tool right here. So here's my key. When you get your own, it'll be free to get the key. It does cost a little bit to use it, but it's just pennies, guys. It's totally worth it. Very, very cheap. I think I had some notes down here how much it costs. Yeah, here it is. It's May 2025 now. So if you use this model, GPT-4, 3 cents for 1,000 tokens. GPT-4 is 6 cents. So this model is a little bit smarter. It'll give you better results. It's somewhat of an improvement over the GPT-4, so it costs a little more. And if you are fine or satisfied with the older version, 3.5 Turbo, it's actually pretty cheap. So a fraction of a penny per 1,000 tokens, and the token is an embedding of words, right? So you actually get quite a big bang for your buck. The GPT-4 is the newest model, or 4, what was that thing called? 4, 3K, 32K, I think. My eyes are starting to go as I'm getting older here. So it's a little bit more expensive. It's actually double the price of this, but the results are very, very impressive. You get some very good feedback here. This is very affordable. I think it's a good balance. This is pretty cheap. The results are okay. It's manageable. It's livable, but not quite as good as the newer model. So I'll share all this code with you. I can't run it in real time now, but basically I just put in my key and I'm using this GPT-4, right? You can see that's the model. If you want to switch that out with this guy over here, you just copy and paste that, okay, into the variable. And if you want to use 3.5 turbo, you just paste that in. And again, you get what you pay for. The more you pay, the better the results are. So I just put in information here and I said, give me some information about these 10Ks. So I have 5 10Ks over the last 5 years. And what kind of risk would I see if I invest in Apple? If I'm a potential investor in Apple and I want to know what the potential risks are, what has it been in the past, and what can I expect in the future? That's kind of the topic here, or the subject here I'm looking at. So I told ChatGPT, just in a couple lines of code, I'll share all the code with you so you can try it for yourself. Tell me what the risks are. It came back with it. The excerpt provided is mostly administrative information about Apple. Name, that's true. Okay, we saw that at the beginning. And this is what the file looks like. If I take you over here, just to deviate just for a moment here, these are what all these files look like. And why is it not opening? That's weird. Okay. Okay, so here's a 10K for the last 10 years, for the last 5 years, sorry. For the last 5 years. Okay, and we'll see basic information about the firm at the beginning, and then all the details of the financials. So we know this is Apple. Okay, no surprise, it's the 10K report. We have the address, phone number. I'm not sure who's going to call that, but we see in here embedded. Actually, this is machine readable HTML and XML, so it's a little bit hard for a person to read, but I guarantee all the details are contained in that text file, in that document right there. Okay, so we're going to ask the model to go ahead and interpret that and tell me what are the potential risks here. What should I be aware of, right? So the first chunk of data, and we're looking at chunks because we look at different groups of data. So we have chunk 1, chunk 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on and so forth. That's how the computer learns and understands and assimilates all this information. And once it digests it, it can make recommendations to us. If you think about it, a person is exactly the same way. You can't dump a ton of information on a person and say, okay, tell me what is this, right? It has to be like bite-sized chunks, one and then another and then another and another. Okay, so here's chunk 1. It's just very generic. Nothing really jumping out at me here. Management discussion and analysis section. So every 10K has an MD&A. That's where they talk about like the high level points of the company. That's probably why it got picked up. This expert does not provide specific insight or hidden risks, as it mainly provides general information about the company's registration. Okay, that's okay. I think this came out risk because you see the word risk. Obviously, risk is a risky word, but I didn't put anywhere. I didn't tell it anywhere in here to look for a risk. So I think it's very interesting. It's coming out. It's learning what potentially could be a threat to this company or to the potential investor in this company, right? So the next one, chunk 3, the excerpt does not provide specific insights or hidden risks as it's standard. Okay, see the word risk again. So it's looking for some terminology here that could be threatening. It could be potentially a pitfall for an investor. Okay, chunk 4, most of the interesting insight from this excerpt is the massive aggregate market value, voting, non-voting stock by non-affiliates of the registrant, which was approximately 1 trillion. Okay, it's $1 trillion company. Potential hidden risk could be related to the company's internal control over financial reporting. Okay, so that's interesting. So I don't have to read. I looked at this document yesterday, and I just read like one paragraph or whatever, not even maybe. But I copied and pasted it to Microsoft Word. It's 5,800 pages. That's a lot of stuff to read, right? I don't have time to read 5,800 pages, so I want this summary report. So something about the company's internal control over financial reporting, that's interesting to me. That could be potentially threatening. That's what I have to understand and discuss with my team and my top people and understand this better. However, this document does not provide specific details about the effectiveness of these controls or any potential issues. Okay, so it seems like they have some financial controls in place, but they don't go into detail about it. That could be a risk too, right? As an AI, I can't form opinions or find something interesting. However, I can tell you that this expert doesn't provide specific details about the company's risk, financial condition, or operations. So that's interesting too, right? So not really getting into the risk of the company, but that itself is a risk. So are you telling me that Apple is not being really transparent with us? That sounds suspicious right there. I mean, that is something that we have to dig into as an investor or potential investor in this company and find out more about. Okay, so we can go ahead and extract item risk factors over the years. So I'm going to go ahead and loop through all these files. We know that there's 5 files and 5 subfolders. I showed you that. We have 2020 to 2024. Okay, so we covered the last 4 years. The 2025 stuff isn't out yet. It's still early May 2025, right? So that's probably coming out. I don't even know when Apple files this. Maybe September, in the September 30th or December 31st, one of those. That's what a lot of companies do, but it could be anything. It could be any time of the year. Some companies file in February, sometimes it's July, right? So it's up to the company when they want to do this. So I have all the files contained in this path right here. So I'm telling this model now to point to this path and to go look at these files and open each one and aggregate everything together, or collate everything together. It's called merge, or what's another word? Coalesce, I guess. They're slightly different in the computer science world, but it's almost the same thing. We're taking everything and merging it together from these 5 years because I want to see. Again, I'm going to go back to ChatGPT and ask it more information about risks contained in the text, or the the information that has been aggregated over the last 5 years. So I'm going to run another test. Again, I can't do this in real time because you have to do this yourself. You have to get your ChatGPT API key. You go over here, you get that. Once that is set up, and again, it's not free. You put in your credit card, but it's very, very cheap and it's very interesting, and you get some very good output here. So again, continuing with the risk, I want to get more insights into what's going on with Apple as a potential investor, and am I going to back this company? Am I going to put my hard-earned money into this asset? Okay, so new risks in 2021 and 2020 have access to real-time or specific documentations. However, based on the information you provide, I can infer that there's additional risk factors disclosed in this year's 10-K filing. This suggests that the company has identified new areas of risk that did not disclose in previous years. So now you see a time series, right? We see something coming up in time, it's changing over time, and we can see the evolution or the progress of these types of risks, right? So number 2, the number of unresolved staff comments has increased from 15 to 17. This could indicate there are new areas of concern or disagreement between the company and the staff that have yet to be resolved. Okay, so that's a potential issue. The summary, the company appears to have identified new risks and 2 additional unresolved staff comments. Okay, so new risk in 2022 versus 21. Okay, so AI doesn't really form opinions, it just gives you facts, so that's fine, we know that. Based on the information provided, it appears that the number of risk factors has decreased from 6 to 5, so that's good news. So we had kind of a risk spike over here. Now it's going down just a little bit. So that sounds like good news. You would need to compare specific risk factors listed in each 10K to identify new emphasize risk. Now we're getting into 2023, right? So it's a little bit more current. The new risk has been added and disclosed. It's related to cybersecurity. This suggests that the company is now acknowledging potential threats and vulnerabilities. So I didn't know that before. Okay, this is brand new for me. This is the first time I'm seeing that. But as an investor, or whatever, I could become an investor. That's good. Okay, if they have these cybersecurity holes or bubbles, or like they haven't really figured out the cybersecurity protection, they're not super confident with that. Is that something to be concerned about? Probably is, right? We probably have to have a discussion about that. Now we're getting into 2024. This information provided does not include specific details about the content of risk disclosures, only the number of comments in each category. So again, it sounds like they're not being really transparent with the risk. I think Apple has identified it and they're not really reporting on it. So that sounds kind of sketchy right there. That's okay. We have the information. We're getting insights. We're making decisions, right? We're trying to figure out, is this a good investment? So that's 2024. That's item number 1, unresolved staff comment cybersecurity continues to plague the company. And I get it. I get it. If you're Apple, you're a huge $1 trillion company. People are going to be out to get you, to exploit you, to try to expose you, right? And try to um, get information or get you to acquiesce with some type of um, mandate or threat, like send us $100 million, or where we are going to expose this sensitive and this confidential information that we collected from your customers. That's a potential problem. Sounds like they have identified that and they have not resolved it. So is Apple a good investment right now in early 2025? I don't know, but at least we got some insight into those SEC documents, right? In just a few minutes, we're able to read through 5 documents. I copied and pasted one document into a Word file yesterday. It has 5,800 pages in there, guys. I'm not going to read 5,800 pages. It's too much, but we can use a process like this or a tool like this to kind of scrape through the data and get some insights and more knowledge and more information. Then we can make intelligent decisions about whether or not this is a good investment. So I gave you the pricing breakdown right here. Take a look at that. And this is how you get your API key. Again, free to set up, not free to use, but you get out of it what you put into it. It just costs pennies to make these types of requests and interact with this tool. So I think it's totally worth it. I think you should look into it and spend a little time to get up to speed with this stuff. I think it's very, very interesting. Okay, so I am going to wrap up the video right there, and that's pretty much it. Hopefully this was educational, inspirational. Hopefully you derive some new knowledge somehow through this video. That's my hope and expectation. I'm going to wrap it up here, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye for now.